Hello everyone, this is Bro S of the Haladoc Bro signing in, doing another figure unboxing. I just got in today Figma 317 Kashima from Kantai collection, KanColle. Let's take a quick look. I also have the pre-order bonus, and we'll take a look at that in just a moment. We'll take a look at the box, let's get her open, and let's see what she looks like. I'm super excited. I always love the KanColle girls. It's the top, that's the left side, the back side, and let's see what poses. I don't necessarily like that one. That just looks awkward in my opinion. But I do love that. I think that's the standard pose on her card. This one's nice. And the pre-order bonus, I'll add that on and we'll pose her with that too. That's the right side. It's top again. And the bottom and top are the same. All right, let's get her open and take a look. Oh, I did it wrong. There we go. So, like in most of the videos when I do an unboxing, I'm doing this more to see how it's unboxed, how I can put it back together if I move or something along those lines. Okay. She slid right out of the box, made life super easy. Let's see here. Alright, so she's got a gun platform. Not too shabby. I think, does it spin? I'll just try and give it a little. Okay, so it twists right there at this joint. And does the same there. Oh, and it twists right there as well on both of those. So it twists at two different spots, so that's not bad. Do these move up and down? No, those are stationary, as are the lights. This is probably the peg where it fits in her back, but we'll go over that in just a moment. Let's see here. Depth charges, I'm assuming. Yeah, it looks like it. Next, we have the binoculars, which I think are also in with Yukikaze as well. I'll take a look here in a little bit. We have what looks to be like an ammo pouch. I'll figure that out in a little bit. And then we have, well, actually, we'll go through this stuff just real quickly. So there are 7 extra hands. It looks like they're cutting down on quite a bit of the extra plastic stuff because this usually is in this bag, but that's what they did this time. And then they have the stand itself. Before I get to Kashima herself, let's take a look here at the instructions. Okay, so she's got a kind of, oh, she does have a hat. So that's the pouch. Let's see. Okay, so she holds the binoculars with a specific hand. Let's take a quick look. That is that one right there. That connects to the back. Little hat. Binoculars, and of course there's the English side. I was looking at the Japanese side. So there is that. And Kashima herself. Pop her out. She looks delightful. So she does already have the hat on. Just try and bring the arms forward a bit. She's a bit stiff from being in the box. And she has these look strange. Okay, so they do bend up like that. So even if I bent her shoes all the way forward, which would look really weird, of course, but the rudders here are kind of interesting for being on the back of the shoe. But other than that, she's got some crazy high heels. And I'll just put her down there. And let's take a quick look with the faces. So she's got this like half asleep look. And there is also the yay smiley look. Go over the other one as well. All right. Well, let's get her assembled. Oh, and actually before I do that, let's get this open. So this is the pre-order bonus. And from what I remember, yes, this is an apron, and it is a box of chocolates. Let's take this out as well. So yes, apron, there's a plastic piece, and then there's a little package there. So I'll put her in one pose, and then I'll put on the apron, and we'll see what she looks like. We'll see if she looks much better. And then this is also just a quick instruction for how to put it on her. So, oh wow, it wants me to like separate her entirely and then put it on. Okay, that's a bit absurd, but all right. Let's get her posed up. Before I do get her all posed, I do want to take off the plastic pieces and then actually try and do this real quickly. I don't want to break her or anything. I must break her. I don't want to break her or anything, but apparently it comes apart. So let's try it and let's get the plastic pieces off. So let's be nice and tender here, and it is not playing nice at all. She does not. Head does not want to separate. It should separate. Okay, so there we go. Just need to pull a bit harder. Plastic piece come off, and then it says her waist. Where does it say? At what part? So it's right below the breast. Let's try and separate her right here without tugging too hard. It is coming apart, but I don't want to like... Okay, so there is just a nice little joint like that. And the head joint is just the standard... I shouldn't say standard, but this is very similar to many other Figmas. Just the joint that's... another like ball joint that's right here. We'll pull off that plastic piece. And like I was saying before, we'll get her all posed. So I got the first pose done. I'm trying to mimic this. I do actually, it posed pretty well as opposed to previous figures. I do actually really like it. The feet actually fit pretty well. She's a little loose right here. But the feet fit pretty well, and the way she balances around the waist joint is actually... She balances pretty well. It bends quite well, but doesn't feel like... It feels a little loose, but it's not... I don't know how to explain it. It's not like falling apart or it's not falling down. She's actually well rooted, but it still feels flexible. It still feels easily posable. So this turned out quite well just for the first time. Let's move on to... Let me do a nice little spin here. It looks like she's falling over, but if you move the foot under enough, it does actually look like she's balanced pretty well because she's got her hand out to balance and the other leg out to balance as well. So that turned out pretty well, but let's move on to another pose. So for the next pose, I decided to try to add I put on the apron now, and then I gave her the little package. Let's get a little bit changed light on here, which turned out pretty well. So you do have to pull off the head, and I left her hat off this time. I think honestly it looks better with something like this, because I gave her kind of the embarrassed face. Move it in a bit closer. I gave her the embarrassed face for this one, just because she got chocolates from Admiral. So I changed that up. And then this part of the dress will come off, and I tried it with the apron, and it fits in quite well with the dress on, so I just left it on. It actually turned out quite well like that. But this pose I like as well. I had to use the kind of the hands like this. We'll call them like the open finger hands, to get her to hold the package. Like, she's got the flat hands, which wouldn't work too well. And then she's got like the her standard, I don't call them fist hands, but it's pretty much what they are, the fist hands. And that was it. And then she's got the handful of other hands. She's got the binocular gripping hands, and then the ones to hold specific items, or like the depth charge carrier or the ammo belt. But let's move on to another pose, and we'll take a look at... I think this is going to be the last pose. I'm going to try and put her in something like this. Or actually, I might try both of them, because I want to try and have her holding the depth charge, and I want to try and figure out where this ammo belt would exactly go, but I also want to have her hold the binoculars. So let me get her posed for another one. For this next pose, I wanted to actually have her using the binoculars, which is what I did, but I wanted to try and go for something like that before I try and finish off with that pose. But this turned out really well, and I wanted to point out, well, first, because I missed it in the last one, so there's a little peg, of course, where her hat fits, and there's not a peg sticking out, but there's a little hole where her hat fits, and there's a peg in the hat. But there's nothing to like fill it in or hide it if you didn't want to have her wearing the hats, which kind of sucks. But and then this fits right here into the gun platform itself, which I thought was a nice touch. That actually makes it nice and easy to pose her, as opposed to some of the other ones where you have to have the grip around the waist. I think Angela Balzac had that, and I believe Prince Eugen had that as well. But this turned out pretty well. I actually do like that. I can get it where it actually looks like she's looking down the binoculars. I had a little trouble fitting the hand around the binoculars itself, but it fits pretty well, and it will stay pretty well. And let's move on to the last and final pose. For this final pose, I wanted to try and go for a, I don't know, like schoolgirl walking to school sort of deal. I did notice as I was putting on the hands in the depth charges that she's got not only the gray hair but the frills very similar to the Figma for Kanzaki Ranko from Idolmaster Cinderella Girls. I may have to find her and pull her out of the box and do a comparison just with the colors and everything because the gray hair is the same, although I believe Kanzaki Ranko's is longer, but the frills here are very very similar in my opinion. But without a direct comparison, I can't say too much. I find it kind of both silly, interesting, and absurd that she has this depth charge, but she holds it like a lunchbox. It was a little challenging to get it in the hand, but once it got in, it was actually fit quite well. But it's almost like I'm having her hold it like it's a lunchbox, but I mean, it's explosive devices. I don't know if I should have done that, but oh well. And the gun platform, I know I went over it earlier. I pointed the guns down because I'm not putting her in active fire mode or whatever you would think. But I do really like the gun platform, although I don't like the smaller size guns. It makes sense for what she looks like in the game on her card. That is the final pose. I'm going to pull out all my other KanColle Figmas. I don't have a handful of them unboxed yet, but I hope to soon, and then I'll do compare contrast, and hopefully I can have the rest of them open by the time I get Iowa and do unboxing videos. Lastly, this is all my KanColle girls that I have currently unboxed right now. I just wanted to post Kashima with the majority of them. I did want to do a comparison. I know I mentioned that she has the peg that fits in right there into the back of her gun platform, but Prince Yugen has the same thing, but Nagato does not. The peg fits in underneath. She's been falling off it, but it fits in right underneath her gun platform, so that's a bit different. And like the only other ones that have a big gun platform besides Prince Yugen, I mean, Shimakaze has the torpedoes on the back, but even Mutsu here, it does fit in right in the bottom there, or right in the bottom of her gun platform, but it doesn't stick out as much as it does with Nagato. But there is that. Thank you guys for watching. This is Bro S of the Halodoc Bros. Getting done unboxing Figma 317 Kashima from KanColle. Peace out.